Hey, thank you for joining us on this channel, Better Through Tech, a channel that's going to be dedicated to technology, computers, and code. This series that we're going to be working on here is going to be a 101 on Arduino. We're going to go through the complete ins and outs and show you every step of the way on how to get the system set up, proper procedures, and even a couple of tips and tricks that most people probably don't bother to show you. And at the end of it all, we're going to show you some actual straight up practical uses for these codes, real world demonstrations of how you can use some of these codes for remote control, like lighting. You can control lighting in your house, fans, robotics, RCs. We're going to go over the whole process. We're going to show you everything. I'm Drew. I've been programming since 2008. I'm just about to start my master's in software engineering, so I got some time under my belt, and I'm gonna show you how to be the best programmer that you can be, showing you some of the best methods possible to be that programmer, to be creative. And we're going to first start off with going to Arduino's website, arduino.cc, where you're going to download your Arduino IDE, Integrated Development Environment. You will start with documentation. There's other things in here we'll click on down the road, but we'll just get the software started on this episode and do our hello program, and then when we get to episode 2, we'll start getting into how to set everything up and why we set things up the way we set them up. But for now, we'll go into software. We are going to go use the Arduino IDE 2. We're going to click on View All, and we're going to click on Download. Once we've clicked on Download, it'll give you a variety of options of what you may want to use, whether you are Windows, Linux, or a Mac user. For me, I'm a Windows user. I always click on the very top one. With this iteration, they want Windows 10 or newer with the 64-bit. If you're not sure if you got 64-bit, it's really easy to figure out. Click on the file folder down here, go up to PC and right-click, and go down to Properties. You'll get an About Me page for your computer, and it'll tell you down here, System Type. You have a 64-bit operating system, so that's how you find out. If it's not a 64-bit, it'll be a 32-bit. You will have to go back to the last page we were just on and go to the Arduino IDE 1. That's the version you're probably going to want to use, but if you're using anything that's Windows 10 or newer, it's probably pretty safe you can use 64-bit. But from there, once you click on this, it's going to ask you for a donation. You don't have to. You can just download the program if you want. I would recommend, if you can. I love these guys. I've given them donations. I still give them donations, and I continue to give them. Will continue to give them in the future. These people, Arduino, they're the reason why I found my passion for programming. They're the ones that made me realize I was good at doing it, and they're the reason why I started school to become what I am today. If it wasn't for them, I don't know where I would be. So, but you can just click on just download if you don't intend to donate later. It's up to you. Once that has happened, you can go to the upper left-hand corner or upper right-hand corner. It'll show you your download progress. You've downloaded things before. You know how it works. Once that's done, install it. Once it's been installed, I have my little shortcut down here. You might have it pop up on the desktop top somewhere, which is fine. I like having my stuff down in the start bar. It just, for me, it's a little cleaner. I know my desk is kind of a little desktop's a little messy, but it's kind of the way I like to have it set up. Click on your Arduino. Your very first time ever opening it up, this is what it's going to look like. This is the loading page for you to get started. I'll give it a second here. And as you can tell, it will remember the last thing that you've worked on. That's not here nor there right now for the project, so we're going to close that out. We're going to open up Arduino. After you get it opened up, this is what your very first page is going to look like. I have mine set on blackout. If you like that, you can go to Preferences. You can change it here if you want. You can change the size of the text if it's too big, too small. Anything that needs to be changed is more than likely going to be changed in here. As far as text size, language, the compiler. I like to have my verbose turned on during compile and update, so it gives me all the information I need. I don't know. I like to see that stuff. It lets me know it's working. You may or may not. It's up to you. It's not a big deal either way. In some error situations, it can be useful. But now that we've gotten here, let's start with our Hello World program. And we'll play with it a little bit. We'll purposely enter some error into it, and we'll fix it to get some demonstration going on to show you how everything works. And we'll wrap this episode up, and then we will continue on to episode 2, where we can start getting into the brass tacks of how the Arduino works, why it works, and how to start setting up the program, and how to start programming it, and start playing with some LEDs and some buttons. And 3, 2, 1, go. So one of the key notes you want to take away from this first is that the way Arduino uses the programming scheme is it works just like C++. So a lot of the coding, a lot of keywords that you're going to be using follows the camel casing, follows that kind of structure, that functioning. So a lot, not all the words, but a lot of the words will start off with a lowercase with no space between the first and second word, and it'll capitalize the second one. And we'll touch upon that a little more on the next episode. Right now, we're just going to see how to write some information to the serial monitor. And by doing that, we'll start off here in setup. And proper code will dictate that we tab in once. Since we have a pair of open brackets, everything that's going to be inside of it will be tabbed at least once. That changes for if codes and for codes, or if else codes, while codes. That will change. We'll get into that later, but for right now, we're just going to tab in once for proper structuring, and we're going to start with a capital S, and we're going to say serial.begin. And this means we're telling it that we're going to start a serial line, a communication line, at 9600 baud. There's other ones too, but this is the main one that gets used a lot. And then we'll go serial.print, and don't forget ln for print line. That's an automatic return. Actually, since we're in the setup, we don't have to do that right now. We could just do this, because setup only runs once, unlike void loop, where it'll continue to run until you unplug your Arduino, your Uno, or Mega, or Nano, or Pro, whatever you got. This programming scheme all follows the same structure, so you don't have to do it. It's good practice to do it. Oops, let's go ln, and we were going to go with some double quotes, and we're just going to say hello, all right? And don't forget, not that. You want a semicolon. You don't want a regular colon. A semicolon dictates that that's the end of the read line. So that way when the code reads it, it sees that, and it's a line terminate. So it knows that that's it. There's nothing else on this line to read. Go to the next line. So with that being done, we are going to go to upload. Verify is not going to do us any good right now. Verify for the older Uno boards, like the revision 2, like I have. They don't sell them anymore, and the revision 3s. The verify is more set up to just make sure that you don't have any bugs or error coding in there. Like say I missed that semicolon and tried to do this, it's going to flag it and say, hey, you messed up. All right. In like the MKR boards, the Mega boards, the ESP boards, it actually will do checking and debugging for you, but in these smaller boards, it won't. So, next, what we're going to do, because this isn't going to work without the Arduino, we're going to grab our Arduino and plug it in. And there you can hear the sound of it accepting the connection of plugging in there. So next, what you'll do is you come up to this box right here, and you click on it. I don't think you can see my mouse in this setup, but you can click on this, and it'll show you the device you have connected. We have the Arduino Uno on COM6. Yours will most likely say something else. It could say 2 or 5 or 12. It all depends on what other things you have plugged in through your USB. But you click on it, and now it'll tell you what you have connected. You have your Uno, and if you look down at the bottom right corner, it'll tell you you have confirmation of connection. And it says Arduino Uno on COM6, so it lets you know that you are connected. So now, if we hit upload, we'll hit upload. It will upload this information to the Arduino. And it'll go through all the information, the verbose from the preferences I showed you earlier. When it is done, it'll say, AVR dude, done, thank you. And that's how you know it's finished. And I know what you're saying. There's nothing there. What you wrote didn't show up. And true, but not at the same time. What you're going to do is you're going to go up to the upper right corner and see over here where it says serial monitor. It's right underneath of the closeout icon. You'll click on that. And then, and you see there it goes. It said hello. And then there it is. There's hello world, right? Next, if you want to try something, that just printed it once. How about we just want to try printing it a whole bunch of times? So since this is going to be in a loop, it's going to run it a whole bunch of times, right? And we'll let it do its upload, and then off it goes. And repeating hello as fast as it possibly can go. And it's going fast, too. So let's see how fast it's actually going. All right, so let's give it a variable. We're going to call this an int. We're going to give that variable name x and a starting value of 0, right? We're going to put it in here, and we're going to put it right above our serial print line. We're going to say x++. That is a shorthand for x equals x plus 1. I'll get into that a little more later. Right now, we're just going to deal with the shorthand just so we can see this working. And we'll do a comma here, space, and then we will do a plus. And some of you probably might already see what I'm doing here. This is going to throw us a flag. Because Arduino can be rather particular about how you set up the print lines. They can be really annoying. See, and now it's just going to throw a whole bunch of errors. And yeah, so in order to fix something like this, and trust me, I've been doing this for many years, I still have this problem. I still mess up and still do this. And I'm sitting there scratching my head going, why isn't it working? And then I have to bonk myself in the forehead going, oh, really? Come on. Okay, so we'll get rid of the print line. We'll leave that comma in there. Don't know why I took that out. We'll leave that space in there, but we got rid of the print line, right? The print line is the automatic return. And what we're going to do is we're going to go serial dot print line. Don't put a comma there. It will not work. Make sure you use a capital S for serial, and we'll use a print line. And then we're going to curve brackets, and we're going to put the X in there. And remember, again, the semicolon. I will get this right sooner or later, trust me. And then what this is going to do is it's going to tell us hello, and it's going to count it off at the same time. And we will get to see how fast this thing counts, how fast this thing reads off. And there it goes. And as you can tell, it reads off very quickly. And what this is doing is it's a loop, right? So this loop will read through this again and again and again and again, right? Like I mentioned earlier, as long as your Arduino's plugged in, this is how it's going to work. And that's how all coding works. It runs off of a looped function. This is the main loop function. We will add other functions down the road. Functions are key. If you're going to start writing really complex code, it's probably one of the best ways to go, just short of maybe actually writing classes. But we're not actually going to get into that probably in this mini-series. We might get into it in more advanced concepts, but we're not going to do it right now. It does start getting rather complicated, but for right now, we're just going to stick to this stuff. But as you can tell, it runs incredibly fast. And see, we've already gotten up to 4,500 iterations just in the time since I started this. So you can tell it runs incredibly quickly. But yeah, so there it is. There's installation opening up and a very first setup of some code and your hello function. So again, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you clicking on the video. Stay tuned for our next video. We'll go over some actual programming. We'll get some functions set up. We'll get some variables set up, and we'll get some LEDs plugged in, and we'll start getting some projects done. And thank you.